Hey everybody, how's it going? I got Alan over here, sharp dressed man. Um, Alan and I were just started chatting about the market, and I commented that I really didn't know what was going on because the two stocks that I was in, Google and Micron, MU, had green days today. They were, and I don't know what percentage they were up, but I made money on calls on both of them. And then I looked at the SPY was down 0.8%. The NASDAQ took it on the chin with over, I think it was 1.2% down. So Alan and I were just talking, and I don't know if you guys recall, but towards the end of the year, we had mentioned that stocks are going to sell off. But I think we put a timeline on next week, where that starts, or maybe the end of this week. This sell-off is right from the get-go. And I think the reason, or Alan thinks the reason, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, is that stocks that had such a great year last year are the ones that are selling off. And I've noticed that the NASDAQ in particular are the ones that are taking it on the chin, because those are the ones that have, those are the ones that moved the most last year. And that's where I'm kind of, that's where I'm kind of struggling, because if you guys recall, my plan this year is to invest just small amounts, partial stocks, and buy these stocks and hold them throughout the year. And the three stocks that I have, Crowdsource, Google, and Nivea, are all tech stocks. They're all related to the cloud. So I'm trying to branch out and look for other examples. And Alan mentioned the Donnalan Group. And for those of you that have been around in this group for a little bit longer time, I know you have published that in the past. I know there's about 20 stocks. So I hope that you share those with us, some of those tickers. And you had a great year with those, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah. I think they were up 35%.
Yeah.
The
Just
key
like
thing is that you have to have stocks that are within a whatever range. And if you go ahead and go to in my book, I talk about it. I thought I put the Donnalan Group in my book. In the book, but maybe I did. You want a stock that has a 15% growth rate. You want it to be a 15% projected growth rate, and then you want a low amount of debt to the to the stock. This is why stocks like Rite Aid, Spirit, JetBlue don't do very well as stocks, because they have so much debt. The debt holds them back. Even the good stocks that are out there that have horrible debt, they're getting weighed down by that debt. And so what it is they're not performing to where they should be because of that debt ratio.
Right.
So my favorites in the Donnalan Group are Google, and you got both Googles. You got Google, GOOG, GOOGL, Visa, American Express, MasterCard, and then some of the other ones are ULTA.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's ULTA. ULTA, look at what the year ULTA's had this year. Oh my God. ULTA is in one of the, in that range. MANH, which I believe has been sold, but you'd have to check that. I believe Public Storage, PSA. What I'll do is I'll put together that list and provide it to people again. but some things on the group, EPAM, TSCO, which is you know that uh, the
Isn't that Tractor Supply?
that's Tractor Supply, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you look them up, they've all had great growth. Um, and I'll go ahead and print those. But what you'll find out, like stocks like GM, Ford, not having a good year. You got stocks, that are pretty much flatliners that haven't done nothing, like Cleveland Cliffs. Um, Oil, done good, but not the best. Raytheon, defense stocks, pretty much, flatlined. So, yeah, there's a lot of things on there. Um, but basically, if you think it's good stock, check to see what the debt percentage is. If it's over 5 or 10%, it's not a very good investment because nobody wants to buy someone's debt. That was the whole thing with Rite Aid. I mean, their debt was over 100%. I mean, give me a break. Um, you know, so,
Right, yeah, I remember looking at that.
that's it.
So yeah, that's a debt to equity ratio.
Yeah. Now, where I see the markets going is that I see the markets are going to go ahead and do a huge drop. They always do a drop of 1,000 points. Now, what's unique is that it seemed to start early. Usually, it starts after the first 5 days of January. Now, I should check with the accountant. I don't know what the rule is that when you have a stock and sell it, you have to hold it for so many days in the following year before you can sell. I thought it was 5 days. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's 3 days. So it's unusual you're seeing the sell off, but that's a telltale telling you that it's going to be a big sell off because people are saying, I don't care. I'm selling off now.
Right, yeah. I mean,
So,
we haven't, yeah, both yesterday, the opening year, and today have both been red days, so we haven't seen a green day yet, so.
so what I like right now, which is really surprising about Google, I like um, the for the rest of the week. May or may not do well, but I think it will. Google puts, MU puts, booking puts. Um, those are the puts I like this week, and then I like for energy OXY. So
Oog. Yeah, and so here's Google. Um, they just had a very rough day yesterday, so that was basically some relief buying. Let me look at this daily. Um, so Google, and same with MU, they got hammered and then they recovered today. And they opened down as well. So Google, MU, and then what did you mention?
Google, MU, and well, I'm short American Express, and the other one I mentioned was bookings.
Okay. Okay.
Now, what the theory is now, and we don't really know on how much this is going to play, but according to news reports, there's a lot of stuff going on in Iran right now, and then supposedly Iran sent naval ships to the Red Sea,
Oh,
off the coast of Yemen.
yeah. I read something about someone stopping shipments through there because of that, and I wish I could remember who it was. Um, Oops. So yeah. Um, and you can see, I mean, if you just look at these charts, um, here's bookings basically curving over, and it's one, two, three red days. I mean, we were flat. Um, AXP. kind of flat, but this MACD is kind of crossing and going down. And I just happened to buy MU calls because they, I think, were one of the first to triggers this morning using that app. And like I said, I've been both yesterday and today been kind of fairly busy with work. I was actually driving in to work when the market opened. And what I really like about the app is that I can list all of the triggers in time order. So the most recent trigger of the stocks that I'm watching, and then I can focus on that stock. And I think that's how I picked up Google to Google to rise. So yeah, it'll be interesting when we get a green day, if we get a green day. But I think the selling, and again, you look at the SPY curling over, MACD crossed over here and is starting downward. DJIA. Trying to think, Dow Jones. Is it the dollar DJI? See, the Dow Jones is kind of not as bad. But again, you know, this MACD, we're curling down, this squeeze, we're starting to see these red things come through. And then when you see these red things, this is when you start to sell off. Like I said, the Qs are the ones that seem to be in the worst shape because they've had such a great run this year. So I'm, like I said, this whole plan to, you know, take little bits of money and spend it on stocks. I'm still going through with this. And I'm just not paying attention to, usually it's on a Friday when I buy them. Usually waits the end of day Friday and then just let them sit. But I'm going to let them sit for the year. And like Alan's Donnalan Group, just let them accumulate throughout the year. And knock on wood that they have a good year again. So I'll definitely be looking at that list to find stocks to add because like I said, I'm a tech guy. I like the tech stocks. They had a great year last year, this past year, and we'll see if that continues. So it'll be interesting. So I wonder, dollar DJI. That's not QQQ. You notice this 10-day SMA and the 20-day SMA, hands curling over, and I wonder if it's going to cross. This is the Russell IWM. Small caps are taking a huge hit. And the smaller caps are the ones that are the most usually the most risky. So it's pretty obvious, or it makes sense that those are the ones that are getting hit the most. So yeah. Fellow member and I were looking at MU yesterday, took advantage of this huge red candle. Oh, did they actually have, oh, they dividend on 12/29. I think these guys continue south, to tell you the truth. So, well, sorry about that. Okay, doke. So I think that's all I have. Hope you guys are doing well. Getting back into the normal schedule of things. Hopefully starting the year off right. Continue to trade. Continue to use the app to trade. Reach out to Alan and I with questions or things for that. And look forward to that Donnalan Group list of stocks because I think those are the ones that you want to focus for longer term. So
Yep.
Okie doke. Alan, you're good?
I am good. I am back. I'm back in the saddle.
Next trip?
Next trip is already booked. Um, I can't even believe what I'm doing, but it's crazy. So I will keep it under tap for now. Never
Okay.
done it in my life that I remember, so should be interesting. But I really like that Disney and all that for New Year's. It's just a blast.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, they do know how to take care of their customers, or they do know how to put on a show.
it's a show, yeah.
Speaking of show, and Alan, you and I need to talk about this because I actually booked the Money Group or the Money Show for February 21st through the 23rd.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So yeah, and I already know that there's one of our members is coming down to join us.
Oh,
Um,
who's that?
I want to say Roy. I knew you'd put me on the spot.
Oh, Roy goes to all those shows. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We saw Roy a couple. I saw Roy a couple years ago. Yeah.
yeah. So let's see here.
Hmm.
Um, because I remember seeing the comment and then I forgot. Joseph, Joseph Costanza. So just signed up. Cannot hardly wait to meet you two guys. Two great guys, I think. So yeah. Um, and I got in for $100 on that standard pass. Um,
Nice.
there was like a flash show, and keep an eye on that website, you guys, that I shared in the group, because um hopefully you guys can get in and you like I said, hang out with Alan and I.
Brian's always looking for that deal.
Yeah, right. I was just gonna say it's a ride hanging out with us down at we won't have the Riverwalk, but we'll have Vegas. So
That river walk was a lot of fun. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. Okay, doke. Well, you guys have a great night. Alan, take it easy.
All
We'll talk
right.
to you guys soon. Bye everyone.
All right. Stay safe. We'll see you next week, Brian.
Okay, doke. Sounds good.